So they're little, but still pretty cool. The waterfalls. Howdy folks, Shawn here from Hiking with Shawn on YouTube. And today it is a Sunday. It's 9:30 in the morning, so it's fairly early. I'll be going on the east side of the forest somewhere. I don't know where. That's usually how these Sundays work. You know, I'll somewhat create or devise a plan for Saturday. Sometimes I've actually planned it out. And then do it, and then Sundays roll around and it's kind of a free-for-all. So that's what I'm gonna do. I thought about Garden of the Gods. Alright. Here's a cool little overlook. Isn't that something? Yeah. Good old Garden of the Gods. Never disappoints. Good old bluffage. Good old bluffage in the wilderness area. Let's see, I seem to have lost the trail. Where's the trail? So the last time I was here, the footage just wasn't that good because I used some wrong settings, and this time the footage is good. Look at this, isn't that wild? Look at that. It's weird, isn't it? Swirly rocks. Very photographic. I'm gonna have to take some photos, and then we'll go through that little arch. Yeah. Okay, it's not really an arch, more like a boulder on top of some bluffs. But still, I always make it a point to go through it, even though it gets harder every time. Oh man. Love this area. It's like a big playground. And there's some cool overlooks. Just the sky ain't doing too well, so no time lapses. If it's just full of clouds, it'd be a lot better. And see cool rock formations like this one. Maybe anvil rock, mushroom rock, something like that. I don't know what they call it. It's cool though. Take me some photos. Kind of feels like the sun's trying to come out. So my plan is to follow this bluff line basically. So I may have to go off trail to stay on it. And that's fine because I'll just turn around and follow it back if I lose my way. But that is the plan. Don't want to go that way, I don't think, because then I'll go down the bluffs. I want to stay on top. maybe I'll go down and follow it back. Because eventually this trail will get away from the bluffs. And I don't want to get away from the bluffs. Whoa! Look at that. Isn't that cool? You can zoom in, check out the hills. See all the cool, some bluffage that way. Pretty neat. Still on a trail, horse trail it appears. I recognize the area, but I'm probably gonna have to get off trail here shortly so I can stay with the bluff line, the bluffage line. And now we're on top of some of that. It was, I think, over somewhere over there. All sorts of little birds. Beautiful wilderness. And up there, I do believe, is Camel Rock and all that, the observation area. It's like a nose rock. That's what I like about the wilderness part, is not a lot of people go to it. They should, you know, they should experience it, but they're more interested in the observation trail and Indian Point. But the wilderness is cool. It's just a lot more rugged. It's not easy. Indian Point ain't really easy though, but it's so well used that, you know, you really can't get lost. You can still fall though. You can fall at observation. People get stuck and fall off rock formations and stuff like that all the time. You gotta be really careful. So here's where I'm pretty much gonna start going off trail, because I recognize this area. I've been here before. But that's so I could follow the bluff line. Right now though, I'm gonna get on this big bluff. Looks like this would be a heck of a view. Oh yeah, wow. Nice. That's cool. It's a creek or waterfall or something down there. Cool. Nice overlook. There's down below. Pretty cool. Pretty sweet. Still trekking along. Following the bluffs. At some point though, looks like it splits that way. So I'm gonna have to cross over and do some climbing. Let me get over here, see if I can get a better look. So I can plan this a little better. Yeah, it kind of seems like it splits over yonder. You hear that creek? I guess that's just that creek down there. Pretty cool looking natural shelters down there. May have to try to make my way down there. Sitting here in a pine desert. So, something important that a forestry official told me, that what she called this a pine desert, is just to listen. Can you hear that? Nothing. No life. There's no birds. No little critters moving around. Nothing. That's because these pines are not native, and our native wildlife isn't going to get into it. So they're lifeless. They're beautiful, don't get me wrong. Pine trees are very pretty trees. And the pine needles everywhere, it looks neat, but it's not native. I mean, that's why you're not going to find any life in them. That's why they call them pine deserts, because it's like a desert, you know. There's nothing really alive and at full force in them. So that's why they want to thin them out. And that's just a thinning process, not removing all of them. It's just taking some, you know, and trying to get native stuff to grow, and then thinning out the rest at a later date. And eventually, yeah, I think the goal is to get rid of pines. But, you know, they serve their purpose. They're put here for erosion and moisture, and we don't need them anymore. You know, they were meant to be timbered, probably commercially timbered, help raise money for the Forest Service and the government and so on. But they're just silence. It's because there's nothing living. You know, it's nothing huge, but still a little waterfall. Cute little thing. But that's what I was hearing. It's pretty neat. I might have to follow the creek, since I'm down into the bluffage base now. Still on some sort of trail. I think it takes me to 001A. I don't mind. Just today I'm exploring, you know. Gotta have fun and explore. Still that's in a row. Heading off, yeah. Hemps gastrovis. Skiergelaufen. Was. We're gonna väl stanna. Well, yeah. Alrighty. So I got my GPS set where I marked this point. I'm probably gonna climb out a different way, but figure if anything, in case I get lost, I can find my way back. Back to this point, and then I know where I am from there. Still got plenty of daylight left. Didn't really plan on coming to Garden of Gods today, though. So, that's neat. I think I need to be over there, maybe, I don't know. There's some pretty cool shelters up here. That's cool. It's a cool shelter. Yeah, someone's already been here. Teeny tiny baby waterfall. Alright, so I'm gonna cross this creek right here on this slippery stuff. These slippery roots. I got waterproof shoes and I have waterproof socks, so I'm gonna try not to get wet as my goal. But I may have to. So I'm pretty much just bouncing back and forth, crossing the creek, recrossing the creek. But that's just because there's cool little formations and stuff to check out, like this thing. That's pretty neat. May have been up there, I don't know. I bet this is a waterfall on rainy days. That's pretty neat. The way it's channeling, curving around and everything. That's pretty cool. Still following somewhat of a trail, a bushwhack. Seeing like litter and stuff, so I know people come back here. Probably kids partying. So they're little, but still pretty cool. The waterfalls, still bigger than any others saw earlier. Look at that. Someone with little binoculars. So still pretty neat. Cool little camp spot. And that's what you wake up and look at in the morning. Nice. So there's one thing I am doing that I don't normally do. So I'm marking these areas with my GPS so I can get you all the GPS coordinates to it. I don't normally do that, but heck, I can. Just never think about it. So now I thought about it. And now I'm doing it. That way, if you want to come out here and on a rainier day, probably a better fall there. Just be careful. And I call this one Double Falls. Just took a picture of all that. I thought that was a really good picture. Very cool area. Pretty cool. I have to look over my shoulder. I remember what Ancient Stone told me about paranormal entities. Still bushwhacking. Well, someone marked that with tape. Wonder why. Wonder if this is some sort of spot. Still see little aluminum cans and stuff. So people's been down here.